Hey everyone, it's Christine Furman with Momspiration 412, founder of EduPlay Learning. And today for the Christine Furman Show, I am here with a lovely guest, Marta Greca. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored to have you and just share a little bit about you. I have been working with you and have known you for a couple years and am so excited to be a part of, your circle now and have you in my life because you have truly helped me declutter a lot of things from my life. You have helped me get my business back on track, and you have helped me also to be more present with my family. Something that I felt a lot of anxiety, which I don't feel like that was ever a word I used. But looking back, I was constantly stressing over a lot of things. I was constantly going and not really moving myself forward in a lot of areas. So you have helped me do a lot of those things. So please tell everyone a little bit about you.
I love that you're saying that because I know that I advertise or market my program as something for entrepreneurs in terms of helping you attract more of your ideal clients and get clarity on your pricing. But that is usually the biggest takeaway from many female entrepreneurs. And I just think it's such an honor that I get to help you just have more internal peace through all of it. So you're like getting clear on your programs, you're getting clear on your pricing, you're getting clear on who your ideal client is. But in the meantime, you are totally being more present for yourself. So that's what I do. I help female entrepreneurs be more present while they have more revenue, while they spend more time with their family.
Absolutely. And that is what you've done for me. And I've been in your program longer maybe than most, but I have enjoyed being with you. I have enjoyed learning. And every time, we get on a call together, every time I watch a new module or, communicate with the ladies that are in your group, I just continue to learn more and I continue to take away something different. Mm-hmm. And that was something for me that it was an opportunity to declutter a lot of things. And I know you talk a lot about that as a minimalist, decluttering not only stuff and things in your life, but also decluttering pictures or files on your computer, or, it could be anything. And that has definitely helped me move forward in my business. So can you share a little bit about your minimalist journey and how that has helped you and your family?
Sure. I will say I grew up with parents with a dad who is the best dad ever, but he was the last thing from a minimalist. I mean, literally the last thing is as lovingly as I can say it. And so I actually kind of laugh at certain things. I have this one minimalist that I follow, and she shows videos of her fridge, and she's like, growing up with a hoarder doesn't affect me at all. What are you talking about? And she shows a picture of her fridge and there's like one egg in it. And it's like, growing up with a hoarder didn't affect me at all. And she shows her closet and there's like one black sweater. And I'm like, that is so me. That explains so much. So
I love that.
That's essentially, we moved around a lot because he is a scholar. He is a professor, a PhD, a genius in theology and philosophy. And so he often had opportunities to teach and to lead in different cities. So every time that we would move from, whether it was he moved from France and then we were in Italy, that's where I was born, that's where I'm from. We moved to the United States, we were in Pittsburgh, then we moved to Texas and 3 different houses in Texas, then back to Pittsburgh. And every time that stuff came with us. And of course, being the good daughter that I was, right, I was often tasked with putting it all in boxes and, loading it into the trucks and then unloading it and opening it back up. And, but I didn't become a minimalist actually until I would say it was 5 years ago. Like actually, I am a minimalist. When we sold our first home that we owned, we sold it within a day, cash offer. And we found ourselves in my parents' basement for 2 years before we were able to move into our new home with 5 kids.
Wow.
And so naturally I was like, what is the point of keeping this stuff for 2 years and storing it? And I'm going to get rid of all of it. So I did. And then my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And I knew that it was important to me to be present for her. I wanted to be at the appointments. I wanted to be able to make her shakes in the morning. I wanted to be able to spend time with her because we didn't know if she was going to make it through, and she did. And so I decluttered my schedule. I was usually yes, I'll volunteer for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll do this for free. Yes, I'll do this for trade. Yes, of course, count on me, because I was afraid that if I said no, all these people would go and do other things with other people, and I'd miss out on the opportunities.
Mm-hmm. I can feel that so much.
and Christine and I have talked about this, because what I realized was that my biggest opportunity in my life was to be there for what was important to me. That's what mattered the most.
Mm-hmm.
And once I focused on that and decluttered all the shoulds from my schedule, all the clutter in my physical realm, and the head trash in my mindset that was keeping me from growing, that's when I exponentially grew my business from like 30K years to 30K, 40K months, and was able to support my family financially while my husband built our multi-million-dollar land development company. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love that so much. I mean, just being able to just get rid of all the junk, all the stuff that is not serving us. And it's so awesome to have you on the show this week, because actually my journal prompt for me this week was clearing, and I'm going to read it actually because I don't want to say it wrong, but it's in my passion planner here. And it says, this week, take a look at the things that are no longer serving you. Take some time to make space for things that bring you joy. And when I read that, not only did that make me think of you and our relationship, how you have helped not only me declutter a lot of things in my business, on my schedule. I mean, the pandemic helped that, and also a move to Georgia helped that. But it really has helped me say, you know what? I'm not going to put things on my schedule that are not serving me anymore. And I am going to be very strategic with my time and with my time with my children. And then it also poured into our house. So we recently moved, and we did the same thing. I mean, we packed everything up and we brought it all here, and they unloaded everything. They unboxed everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff, because when we got here, it was bare. And I loved it. I was like, this is great. It looks so fresh and new. But then they unloaded it, and I was like, all right, it's time to declutter a lot of this stuff. It's time to get rid of things that are not serving us. And you actually had a challenge, I think it was in the fall.
I do it every fall, and it lights me up. It is so fun. I just have so much fun with it. Like,
can you tell people about it? Because it led us to have an entire garage full of stuff for our yard sale. So can you share a little bit about that challenge? Because I think it's such a great challenge.
Sure. It's so much fun, because every year, and I do this purposely right before the holidays, because I love receiving gifts. I love people giving me gifts. I love people's face lighting up whenever they give gifts. I love the excitement and like the effort that people make to try to pick just the right thing. And so I am not the type of minimalist that's like, please stop giving me gifts. I'm like, no, I love that. That's so much fun. And so, but with 5 kids, often people feel obligated during the holidays to be fair and be equal and get each one of our 5 children just as much as maybe we got their 1 child or 2 children in their family, because they want it to be fair, right? So then we end up with so much stuff, but my kids love it. So of course I'm not going to be like, stop giving my kids gifts. So I purposely do this before the holidays, because maybe this is you during the holidays. You're like, this is great. I got all these presents, but now I don't feel like unloading them from my car because I have no idea where I'm going to put them.
Right.
Maybe you exchanged presents at grandma's house or whatever. So we spend 28 days, and we start with day 1, you get rid of 1 thing. Day 2, get rid of 2 things. Day 3, get rid of 3 things, so on and so forth. But what the beautiful thing is that happens that most of the time somebody goes to tackle a drawer to do day 3, and they end up getting rid of 30 things in that one drawer, right? And they just keep going. And it just feels so good, because you're releasing energy that's holding you down, and you're making room for abundance. And I've actually had one of my current clients now, she said that by doing that challenge, she freed up 2 whole offices in her business that have brought in like hundreds of thousands worth of revenue by clearing that space from like just offices and storage to offering it was 3 rooms, 3 brand new services that now bring her hundreds of dollars of services that she doesn't have to do because she was able to bring in other team members to do them. So it's powerful stuff.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And that's something I was going to say, like for us, that decluttering of our house, and even the kids get in on this, which I think is a great skill for our kids to learn, to let them know that they can release these toys that they're done with. You know, instead of purging them at the end of the day when they're not looking, I totally include them in the process. And if they're not ready to let it go, I say, it's okay. We don't have to get rid of it right now. When you're ready, and I'll have to tell you a story. When I was decluttering, we were decluttering the kitchen set, you know, our kids' kitchen set. And here I am washing dishes, bawling as they are like organizing and decluttering, because I was like, no, we can't get rid of the kitchen. So many memories, so many, you know, pictures that I have of them making things. And I'm going to cry now because I'm thinking of it, you know. And my son was like, Mommy, I don't think I'm ready to get rid of the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I wonder why.
Good, that's okay.
Well, I
So
think
we kept the
really
kitchen.
important point. I think you made a really important point, because I certainly wouldn't want to force my kids to break relationships with their things before before they're ready to. In fact, somebody that's in my program that Christine knows, Joanne Holbrook, she has a book called Passport to Parenting. And I wholeheartedly believe this. In the book, she says, you know, respect the relationship between your kids and their lovies and their stuffies. Because did you know that if you try to truncate that too early, you're actually creating like some psychological thing that like the relationships that they have they could go away at any moment. They could be taken away at any moment. So I don't try to force it on them, because then I'm afraid that they'll go the other way when they're adults and they'll become hoarders because their mommy made them get rid of things. So we do, but I don't consider it a waste. I think there's at least 3 things that we purchased for my 5-year-old for Christmas that he said he wanted, that we felt he would really love, that within 3 weeks to a month, he was already done with. So we did say, I haven't seen you playing with it. Do you want to keep it or return it or give it away or what? And he's like, get rid of it. And I don't consider it a waste, because again, he had so much fun opening it and playing with it on just the one day he received it. And then he was done with it. It's just creating more waste of space. It doesn't matter that you spent the money on it, because then we were able to, I think some things we were even able to return, and some things we were able to trade in for other toys at a local kids consignment shop. So,
and that's a great point too, because it gets to the point where they just are done with it. Maybe it wasn't something that brought them as much joy as they thought it would. You know, the commercials, the advertisements, I mean, they make it look all great. And my daughter, she was like, oh, Mom, I want this stuffed animal that I can walk. And we looked it up, and I was like, Ella, do you realize that this is a stuffed animal that just has a straight leash and you literally are walking it? Like, it doesn't just walk. And she was like, oh, all right, then maybe I don't think I want that, you know? And it's a kind of explaining it to them about what it is. And then when they do get it, if they're like, nah, you know what, it really wasn't what I thought. You know, you brought up a good point, you know, consigning it or even returning it or donating it. I mean, during the holidays, there's always so many donation options as well. So what are some things that you do with, you know, the things that you're getting rid of or purging?
The number one thing is, you know, returning it. And I should say I'm much more respectful sometimes of my kids' stuff than I am my husband's, but I will check with him. But like, for example, for our anniversary, which is in January, he has been pining after this knife set, which is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I got it for him because I'm like, great. I never know what he wants. That usually he wants things that are thousands of dollars, which is fine, but I usually get it wrong. So that's a big gamble. So I'm like, I can get him these knives. And then I'm realizing 2 months later that he still hasn't used them. because he considers himself a minimalist, but he also doesn't want stuff to get ruined. He likes to just keep it in boxes because he feels like when he takes it out, it's going to get ruined. So I'm like, the first thing is I'm like, can I return this? Because, you know, I Christine knows I'm big about abundance and I don't think anything is a waste. But I'm also big on respecting your money and watching it and having a relationship and a friendship with your money of respect, so that no matter how much is coming in, that you're continuously respecting it. I don't even want to say being responsible because I feel that that's subjective, but you're just respecting it. So can I return it? No. Next move is, if it's a kids related item, I likely will have a pile for, we have our local place that we go to is called Kid to Kid. Yeah. And oftentimes we make a pile, maybe once a month, we go to Kid to Kid, we drop it all off, and we don't even bother with staying or with cash. We just put it all on store credit. And then after a while, maybe we'll have, 30 to 60 bucks that, let's say it's Matisse's special day, she can go to Kid to Kid and she can pick a new toy, or so-and-so is starting sports and they have a brand new pair of cleats there that is half the price of, at the, let's say, the sporting goods store. So again, it's no matter how abundant you are and how much you're bringing in, still taking a look at how you can make the most of the money that is coming in. So those are the first two things. And then, but after the fact, what I notice is that often people, even when they're giving away things, want it to be special and meaningful and go to someone that they care about. But I'm just like, just get it out of my house. So oftentimes I will have, if you're local to the Pittsburgh area, pickupplease.org. I schedule the pickups and they just come and get everything right from my garage. So I don't even have to drive it out somewhere. Or of course, for my own stuff, I have my favorite nonprofit, Treasure House Fashions, that I donate to. And, or I just, if Goodwill is nearby, just drop it off at Goodwill. I trust that somebody's going to be like, I needed this.
Exactly.
And it's $2.
Right. It's going to serve someone, and that you are decluttering things in your life. So you're absolutely right. I love that you said about Treasure House Fashion. I am definitely going to be stopping there. I have a couple things. Even here in Georgia, I still bring my stuff to Pittsburgh sometimes, guys, because I know my place is up there. But, even things, you can even do things as a garage sale. If you live in a neighborhood, sometimes they have community yard sales. We're actually going to have one at the end of the month, and my kids have just purged all of their things and put it in the guest room. And now that I'm having company, I have to clean the guest room.
Yeah.
But it's so great for them to be able to say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to put this here. And we're able to have that space and that time. And the last time we had a yard sale, our goal was to earn $500 we were going to get another dog we were going to adopt. And that's how much they earned. So the kids were so excited to be able to be a part of that and say, how much do we have now? And did we earn what we wanted to, and then whatever we didn't sell, we took to Kid. So there are definitely different things that you can do as a family. Because I know, number one, I have driven around with things in the back of my car for way too long that I wanted to donate. And I know other moms out there as well have been in that same position. So there are lots of things that you can do to donate and get rid of that extra clutter. And it will serve you. It will make you feel so much lighter and just more at peace, Yeah.
And then of course, there's the food in your pantry. There's the local food banks that are so convenient. They have like outside drop off boxes that we drop stuff off to. Especially, I don't know if you guys did this, but none of us knew what to expect, with the pandemic. And there was certainly a time where we couldn't get groceries because it was so scary to be out there. So I know that we had bought a lot of like macaroni and cheese and things in bulk. Hey, sweetie. What's up? I'm in the middle of a live interview.
Happy World Wildlife Day.
Oh,
I've been cataloging.
And Siri's chiming in. I'm almost done. I'll be right up.
Hi.
Okay?
Can I have a peek?
Okay. Do you want to say hi? No, you don't want to say hi? Okay.
I love when we have guests on the show.
We can hide that in there. He's shirtless and says he needs more pants. So we'll be addressing that after the show.
I love that. I love that. So what are some things that you love doing with your kids? You know, you have 5 kids, 1 on the way. So baby 6 is on the way. And you just bought this beautiful new home with all of this property and land. You homeschool your children. You run a very successful business. How do you, number one, fit it all in? And what do you do to spend that intentional time with your children?
I absolutely love our property right now. We've got a little lake in the back with geese, and we've got creeks that run to and fro. And so yesterday we were out there. First, we sat on the bench and we just watched the geese, and they just crack us up. They right now are like, something's going on. Like they must be in heat, or I don't know what that word is for geese, but they are so loud and they're like bullying each other. And you see one of them get angry. I mean, it's hilarious. Okay. This sounds crazy. And if it wasn't me, I'd be like, you're crazy. You're talking about geese, but we just love it with the kids. They just crack up at these geese. And then of course we walk down to the creek and we pretend to fish, and there's big trees, and we try to make tree houses out of whatever we can find. So we just love being out there and just being with each other and being creative, or even like the adventure of the soccer ball fell in the lake and we have to figure out how to get it without actually getting in the lake, because none of us want to freeze our butts to death right now. So that's our favorite thing. And then of course, in terms of fitting it in, it's definitely the compartmentalizing of the schedule. Mm-hmm. When there's key set times that I focus on my business and stuff like this, and then key set times that I'm focusing on homeschooling the kids and spending time with them. Yeah.
I love that. So you have shared some wonderful gold nuggets with our viewers, and I just love everything that you are about, everything that you have. I mean, I continue to follow you and, stay on the journey with you. So where can others find more information about you, and others that may want to, jump on board and join you on their journey as well?
Well, if you're an entrepreneur and you'd like to learn how to multiply that income that you're making while spending way more time with your family and doing exactly what you love, I have a free masterclass next week, depending on when this airs. But the masterclass, okay, yeah. The masterclass is running officially from March 7th, and it'll keep going on. The more engagement that we have, the more comments, the more questions, the more people are doing exercises, I'll keep it going. But if it's a dud, I'll just be like, all right, guys, I guess you got what you needed, and I'll close it up. So the big thing is that you get in there, you watch the trainings, you do the exercises, you comment, you engage, you ask questions, you do the modules that I'm offering you, because you're going to get exponential clarity. And I'm actually offering you information that I typically only offer paid clients. I only do this a couple times a year. And once the masterclass is over, it will be archived and put away. So now is the time for you to get amazing results and huge ahas in terms of what your purpose is, what your passion is, and how can you make the most amount of money in the least amount of time and the least amount of effort in being a minimalist in your business. So join us. I'll provide the link to Christine. Hopefully she'll be able to share the link to the masterclass. And if you have a business bestie, invite them to join this masterclass with you, because the more that you're in this combined community of energy of positive female entrepreneurs, the better.
I love that. And I'll be there for sure. You can always count on me. Woohoo! Like I said, always learning, even though I am a client, it's still an opportunity to just get even more information and more, opportunities to learn and find that clarity. So it is. Make sure you guys join us. I will definitely be providing the link for you, and be sure to follow Marta on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the platforms, right? Yep. What's your handles on those? Just a few.
I would love for you to follow me on Instagram. That's typically the place where you can find out everything that I've got coming up, whether it's being a co-host on a TV show with Christine, or this free masterclass, or just free business tips and hacks. And that handle on Instagram is Marta Sauret Greca _E360 TV, which is the channel on which Christine and I have a talk show, Thriving Women Talk.
Awesome. Awesome. We love it. Love
I'm
it.
only on for a couple more weeks before I have a baby, and then I'll come back.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, we just had a wonderful baby shower for you there,
Yes,
and it
you
was
did.
so fun.
And it's so fun to receive the presents. My husband's like, "What'd you order from Amazon?" I'm like, "Nothing."
You'll be getting them all week. So
I
that's
know, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
So fun to open them up.
I love that. I love that. So, well, thank you so much. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, what are any final thoughts that you want to leave our viewers with today, Marta?
Stay committed to your desires. And if any questions come up to you of, should I keep going? Should I do this? Should I do that? Ask yourself, the decision that you're about to make, is it based on fear or is it based on your desires? And always act according to your desires if it was your last day on earth. So would you buy your dream house if it was your last day on earth? Hell yeah, you would. Would you invest in your business if it was your last day on earth? Hell yeah, you would. Would you spend more time with your kids if it was your last day on earth? You betcha. So make your decisions based on as if it was your last day on earth.
Powerful, powerful. I love that. Love that so much. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching or watching the replay, let us know in the comments. Also, let us know what questions or comments you have for us below, and we will definitely be in touch with you, and make sure you are following Marta and join her free masterclass. Thank you so much, Marta. This was such a pleasure. I truly enjoy having you as a guest, and congrats on baby number 6, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.